Another one's taken, another one's in
Perfect.
your life.
Hey guys!
Welcome to our channel.
Welcome to our channel. So today,
that was in sync.
So in this video, we're going to be talking about everything from moving to getting involved to finding a church, everything like that.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this video, and how about we get started?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I want to talk about is the different ways that the Navy will assist you in moving. If you do a PCS, or if you're just joining, or whatever the case may be, even getting out of the Navy, retiring, or just separating, the Navy will pay for you to move, whether that be them sending out trucks to come pick up your stuff and pack it up and move it for you, or they have this thing called a Diddy move where you can move all your own stuff, you get it weighed, and then whenever you show up to your next command, they will actually pay you, reimburse you for all the travel. They also, I forgot what it's called, but they do a kind of like a split move where you can take some of your stuff with you in your own POV, personal vehicle, and they will also pack some stuff up for you and ship it for you as well. I don't know too much about that. I know you can still make some money off of that just because you moving stuff by yourself as well. But those are the three types of ways that I know of. But how we did it last time was we just had them come and pack all of our stuff for us and then ship it out, because we took a nice extended trip up the coast when we moved. We took about 7 or 8 days and just went on Highway 1 right on the coastline from San Diego up to Washington, which was beautiful. But that just allowed us to stress-free move up the coast, and we like that. Although you can actually make money by moving stuff yourself, we just didn't think that it was worth making like $200-300 off of us moving our stuff.
Yeah. But if you wanted to do that, you could. And it's like whenever they move it for you, it really is like stress-free because they pack everything for you. Like you're actually not allowed to put things in boxes and prepare for them. So like I tried to help them out and put stuff in boxes, and immediately when they came, they took everything out of the boxes and redid everything themselves because they're liable for it. And so if they're going to be doing it, they have to do it all themselves. So really like you just have to take everything out of the cabinets and like make sure everything's out in the open so that they can pack it for you. So it was like actually like it's stress free, but it kind of creates stress if you're kind of like me, where you want to handle stuff, because I wanted to help them and like pack everything, but then they just like took it out and I was like, okay.
But yeah, it was very stress free, and we didn't pay a dime of it, and it was nice because we had a lot of stuff. So something else that I forgot to mention actually is the fact that they'll actually ship a car up too if you desire. Like when we were moving to San Diego to Washington, homeport shifting, we had to stay on the ship while we were underway all the way up to Washington, so I couldn't take a car with me. Ended up selling my car anyways, and then I flew down to San Diego, and me and Brittany took our only car up the coast. So we didn't ship a car, but I know it's cost free to you. You can ship it only one car, I think. I think the only downfall is like my Mustang, whenever I had it, had a crack in the windshield, and I would have had to get that replaced before they shipped my car, because just like the boxes, they're liable for our vehicles. And so if I was to claim that my windshield cracked on the trip up there because it was cracked already, then they would have to pay for it. So they didn't want me to ship my car because of that. Yeah, so I sold it. So yeah, so those are the types of ways that the Navy will assist you in moving to your next destination stress-free. So.
All right, so the next one is how to get involved and, you know, stuff like that. One of the biggest ways that you can get involved whenever you change duty stations is joining the FRG, because the FRG is always a part of wherever your husband is. So there's an FRG created.
Or wife.
Or wife. So FRGs are most likely always going to be wherever you're stationed at. So the best way you can get involved first is to join the FRG. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of the FRG just because, I don't know, there's like there can be a lot of drama, and there's usually a lot of older wives that I haven't really clicked with. There's a lot of younger wives that I do know that are in the FRG, and I really like them, and so I've connected with them a little bit. But it just depends on who you are. Like, if you have a really good FRG, then that's amazing and you should definitely get involved in it. But if you don't, then there are definitely other ways that you can connect with military spouses or significant others. And another way that you can get involved is really social media and Facebook groups and Instagram groups of military spouses or significant others, and just see on there who is in your local area, what military wives are out there, connecting with them, and stuff like that. So that's another way. It's through social media, which I don't know if that could be easier for you or harder for you. I know it's personally easier for me because I am on social media all the time, but you can always connect on social media with other military wives who could possibly be in your area, and you meet up with them. So another way that you can find other military spouses is through your local church. Now, I know for us personally, like, there's a pastor at our church who is a retired Navy veteran, and so his heart is for the military community, and he knows that we do YouTube, he knows that we're military, and so anytime there's a new military couple that comes in, he points them directly to us. And so they immediately get plugged in, and we share, you know, our military experience with them, show them other military couples we know. And so far we've met like 4 different military couples, probably within like the last few months. It's just like the Lord is really growing the military community in our church. So if you are a churchgoer, I would really encourage you to find a church that has a military community, because whenever you match military community and God together, it's just like so powerful, because we're going through so many things, and I feel like you definitely need those people that can give you biblical truth about things that you're going through, of like feeling alone or feeling stressed or feeling anxious about all the things that military goes through. And so I think the church is probably my favorite place if you are a churchgoer again and you want to find a military community. So kind of on top of this topic of church, a lot of questions that we get is, how do you find a church whenever you move to a new duty station? And one of the things that we firmly believe in, like moving and finding a church, finding a home, all those things, is prayer. Like praying through all of those things, because again, there's so much stress, there's so much anxiety that we go through when you have to change duty stations, and if you're not constantly praying, then you're going to be stressed, you're going to be anxious, and just praying keeps you at peace. It allows you to not be in control, but to know that God is in control, and that knowing that He has made a way before you, so that you can just be like, okay, God, like, you're going to give us an apartment, you're going to give us a church, you're going to give us, you know, a good community, like all those things, just giving it to Him. And so we really believe that prayer is a good thing when it comes to moving. But as far as like finding a church, one of the ways that we found a church is, again, prayer, but knowing that God doesn't speak just through like an audible voice. Like He didn't say, okay, you're gonna go to this church. Like He didn't say that. So just like we communicate differently, like through texting, through sign language, through actually talking, God communicates in a lot of different ways. And one way that He spoke to us was through the people of the church. So the first church we went to, like, we went in and no one talked to us. Like, no one. We just kind of went in and went out. And one thing that we really wanted in this season was people to be in community with us. And so that was the first church we went to, even though it was a great church, like no one talked to us. And then the second church we went to, as soon as we walked in through the doors, they were like, hi, how are you? So it was just like, as soon as we walked through the door, like we just felt the love of Jesus, because they were open and welcoming and accepting of who we are, and not just like passing us by, like I don't even know, like just passing us by. And it was just weird. So so we knew instantly, like, that was the church that God had called us to. Even though the church was like mostly older people, we knew that God had called us there. So just like keeping in prayer, because God will definitely direct you to the place that you're supposed to be.
She's so beautiful when she talks Christian. Yeah, like what she was saying is, like, when we first walked in, you know, we were greeted, and we, like, within the first 5 minutes, we already felt like we were a part of their family, and that we felt like we were someone that they want to do life with and that they want to share God's love with, and that's always a plus. And actually that next week after we showed up there, they invited us to one of their group potlucks, and so a church who offers you free food is always good.
It's always a good church.
Always a good church. But, no, it was good. We really enjoy that church, and we wouldn't have been able to find it without prayer, I don't think. Something else that I wanted to mention to you guys was just kind of breaking your lease. If a PCS does happen to come before your lease is over, most of you might know this already, but it's surprising how many people don't know this and get so worried by this. But basically, when you lease an apartment, when you rent an apartment or a house or anything like that, you rent it for a certain amount of time. And if you break that certain amount of time, then you're supposed to get charged extra. There's supposed to be it's like a breaking the lease fee, I guess. But there's actually a military clause out there. It's called the military clause.
I was not expecting that.
I know, that's what I did. And what that says is basically if you do get a PCS and you get orders to somewhere else, you can show that to the leasing office and they can break your lease with no extra charge at all. And that's like a government thing. Mm-hmm. So if they try to pull a fast one on you and say that they're not gonna give you your security deposit because of that, like, that's wrong. They shouldn't do that, and they can get in a lot of trouble for doing that. So just don't stress out too much about that. Just tell them you're in the military, show them your orders saying that you're moving somewhere else, and they'll break the lease with no extra cost.
Okay, so the next question that we get a lot is, how do you find a house whenever you're moving? When is the right time to start looking for a home? And like questions like that. And personally, for us, I would say if he gets his orders, I don't know how quickly you get your orders before you have to
You'll
move.
know. Yeah, you'll know pretty
if you get them like 6 months before, I wouldn't start looking for a house really for like 3 months before you have to move. Because personally, if you look for a home 6 months before you have to leave, and that's because he just got his orders, I think it causes you a lot of stress, because most apartments will not hold your home for 6 months. Now, if you're doing military housing, you usually have to get on a waiting list. And so if you want to do military housing, then I would recommend, like, as soon as you get your orders, looking for a home and getting on the waiting list. But if you just want to live in like a regular apartment,
off base,
or a regular home, yeah, off base, then I would recommend waiting until maybe 3 months you're about to leave, 2 months you're about to leave, because more likely they'll be flexible with you and they'll say, okay, put a deposit down and then we'll hold it for you until, you know, whenever you get here. So they'll be more flexible, and it also won't cause you stress because you'll be seeing all these homes, but you're not even able to like book anything or like put anything down because they're not willing to hold it for you. So it really just depends on what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to get like a regular off-base home, then wait. If you want to get on-base living, then definitely look immediately, get on a waiting list. Now, one website that I totally recommend if you are going to live off-base is areavibes.com. Area Vibes shows you the crime rate, the school, how well the schools are, cost of living. It rates everything like in the area basically, and it gives it a letter grade. So it could have like an A+ in cost of living, and it could have an A+ in schools, and
a B in crime.
A B in crime or whatever. Yeah, so it could just like, and it rates it for you. And it tells you like basically every section of the city. So it like maps it out for you. Like this section is good, this section is good, all that stuff. So another place that I also look at is Trulia.com. I believe it's either Trulia or Zillow, where it also gives you like crime rates, cost of living and stuff. So I usually look at Area Vibes first, but then more so when I'm looking for a home or an apartment, I look at Trulia, that gives you more clarity on cost of living, crimes and stuff like that. So those two really help me, and I always look at those because like spouses or significant others, if you're living with them, you're going to be alone sometimes when they're underway, deployments, duty days, like all those things. And so you want to be sure that you're safe and in a good area if they are gone. So just definitely recommend those two websites if you're looking for a home. So yeah, I think that's really it for finding a home. Again, like, prayer is super important. The only way like we even got this home is through prayer, because the price is good for the place that we're living at, and like just basically all of our friends are like, how did you get that home? Like And I'm like, I don't know. All by the grace of God. So, but yeah, I hope those kind of answered your questions about like moving and types of moving, how to find a home, how to find a church, and stuff like that, because we've gotten a few questions on those. So,
and if you are, if you're new to the Navy or the military, or you're thinking about joining, I have moved to 5 different, I've lived in 5 different states in the past 4.5 years. So you're gonna get really familiar with moving around a lot. So get as much information as you can on stuff like this. That way when it does happen, when you do come across stuff like this, you're prepared and you're not stressed, and it just all around goes great.
Also, I wanted to quickly mention that in a past video, like a long time ago, I said that you're only allowed 1 move in the military, and that was because it was bad communication between us, and that's what I thought. But it's actually 1 move per year.
Like personal move?
Yeah, we'll just move in general. See, bad communication again.
If the military is making you, by orders, move, then yeah.
Yeah, but other than that...
And dislocation allowance, remember that. DLA. Anytime you move.
Dislocation allowance, yeah.
I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
But good benefit, free money.
Yeah, so anytime the military makes you move, you can do all of these things. But if they're not making you move, then it's all up to you. Like, you have to pay for everything and stuff like that. So anyways, so disregard that last video that I said, just that one little thing. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comment them down below.
Be sure to subscribe.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in our next video.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.